Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
On Saturday, September 23rd from 2 to 8 p.m. at the Alkaline Oasis in Brooklyn, Baba Ashraf Kwesi and Mira Kwesi returns to Brooklyn, New York after 4 years. Get your early bird tickets right now by Texas 347-496-1022. Remember, they'll be teaching about the ancient history of Africa, Kemet, and also they're going to touch on Cleopatra. So get your tickets 347-496-1022.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers? Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon the Numeral Beta. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now. It's the numerovational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. Yeah. That's right, family. Get my books on Amazon now. You can always go to Amazon and get my book. I'm broadcasting not only on... It's your host. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Brother King Simon. And if you're new to the broadcast, it's all right. It's all right if you're new to the broadcast. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor that your brother King Simon only brings positive vibes. And remember, the name of this YouTube channel is King Simon Presents Only Quality People. And my second YouTube channel is the Numerovation Nation on YouTube. You can contact and get to all my links through Linktree /King Simon the Numerovator. We're broadcasting on IG also. We're broadcasting on Facebook. We're broadcasting on Twitter also. So I'm live on all of these apparatuses for a reason. Today's actual presentation is going to be called Be Mindful of the Murmurs of Madness. Raise your vibration. That is my dissertation today. Be mindful of the murmurs of madness. Raise your vibration. Also broadcasting on IG at iam.kingsimon. And everybody who wants to become my friend over there, you're more than welcome. Or you can go to my Linktree, as you see here on my YouTube channel, you Linktree /King Simon the Numerovator. It will take you to all the links. But I want to remind people that if you're in the West End of Atlanta today, myself and Professor Griff will be out there. I'm just passing through, but it's called at Tassili Raw in Atlanta. There's a guest appreciation day with the legendary Professor Griff of Public Enemy. He'll be on the Wheels of Steel. And today is August the 31st. Want to say happy birthday to one of my dear friends, the one, the only Nairobi Sila. Today is her birthday. Great artist extraordinaire. And also A book that I recommend to people all the time. A book that I recommend to people all the time. The Power of Decision. The author of this book is born today also. The Power of Decision, because decision takes a lot of mental fortitude. So it's not ironic that someone would write a book like this, born under the number 31, which 3 plus 1 equals 4, which is a mental number. Especially when you read it in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability. One of the mental numbers, there's 5 to be exact, but all of the numbers can attract certain health problems, health ailments to you. From 1 all the way to 31, if you're on the calendar, from 0 all the way to infinity. Every number has a duality and has a possibility of attracting health issues. It's just that, according to my studies and research, that the main prominent numbers that have definitely shown me over the years of studying numerology and observing the patterns, the cycles, and the sequences, and also watching the repetitiveness of it, and watching and being observable of it, and watching its measurements over time. The numbers 4, the number 7, the number 8, and the number 5, and the number 3 have proven to me not to be a theory, but a theorem after I've seen what has happened. And in celebrity world, in my own personal life, in my own personal cycles, those particular numbers, the 4, the 7, the 8, the 5, and the 3, 5 and 3 being on the lowest part of the calendar only because, or lowest part of the totem pole, only because 5 and 3 are really jovial and happy numbers, but because it has a connection. The 5 and 3 is connected to nervousness, nervous issues, nervous problems. When people start to go down the nervous road, that can create mental depression and mental health, especially if you let people get on their nerves or things and situations outside of you get on your nerves. So this is a good book to have in your arsenal if you can't find it on Audible. It's called The Power of Decision, a step-by-step program to overcoming indecision and live without failure forever. This book was recommended by the late, great Reverend Ike. I remember listening to him and he recommended this book. This one is called The Power of Decision, written by Raymond Charles Barker, which today happens to be his born day, his birth strong, his Earth Day. And everybody in every community is going through health issues. So the topic for today is be mindful of the murmurs of madness. Raise your vibration. Raise your vibration. And I'm broadcasting on multiple platforms right now. I'm broadcasting on my YouTube channel. I'm broadcasting on my Facebook channels. I'm broadcasting on 2 Facebook channels, King Simon and King Simon Productions. I'm broadcasting also on Twitter, and I'm broadcasting on 2 YouTube pages. And like I said, the book is called The Power of Decision, written by Charles Barker. Go and get the book, The Power of Decision. Just Google it right now, The Power of Decision. Very good book to have in your arsenal, especially if you want to maintain the discipline of making decisions. One of the things he says in the book, and I quote on page 55, and the chapter is called The Invisible You. He says, the real you is not only invisible, it is also immeasurable. He says the real you is not only invisible, it is also immeasurable. And then he says in another part on page 93, and I got them all marked off because I read this book through and through. If only we would pause for a moment and think a new thought, we would be back on the board avenue, on the broad avenue of life again. If only we would pause for a moment and think a new thought, we would be back on the broad avenue of life again. And then he says, because he was religious, because, like I said, Reverend Ike is the one that recommended this gentleman. And Reverend Ike, as you know, I always like to quote Reverend Ike. He's one of my favorites from the past and the present, and his words are very significant till this day. That's why I have his book behind me here. I got his book, The Science of Living. And what he says in page 92, he says, in this book, The Power of Decision, those that are just watching on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and also Twitter, he says, life is the action of spirit. God is never bored. The infinite is forever mind creating new ideals, new concepts, and new purposes. So the importance of this presentation is going to be for the history book. Be mindful of the murmurs of madness, because in the words that I just gave you, murmurs of madness is a lot of M's, a lot of 5s, a lot of 3s, a lot of 4s. Let me go to the letters. The M is, a lot of M's is 4. A lot of the 5 and 3s is either the N, the E, or the SS. So all of it is mental numbers that are connected to the murmurs of madness. And what do I mean by the murmurs of madness? I mean what they're putting out there in the media, especially because there is an election coming up. And I like what Donald Trump said, because he recognized, and y'all might not like Donald Trump and whatever, but he does make a good point that when election time is starting to come up, and because we're going into the month of September, and September, October, November, and December are the sneak peek months of what is to come. Pay attention. September, October, November, and December are the sneak peek months of what is to come in the next year, because, especially if you go into September, because now September, because it is known as the 9th month now, it may be known as another month before they added all kinds of stuff. But because we're all resonating with September as being the 9th month, remember, 9 reflects any number that it's connected to. So because we're in the 9th month of 2023, when you add that 9 plus the 7, it equals 16, which is a 7. It reflected the number that is. So it's reflecting the year that we're leaving, but also because it's a sneak peek month of the year to come, 9 plus 2024, if you break it all down, adds up to a 17, which is an 8. So it's reminding you and showing you what's going on. So I stick to the premise that September, October, November, December, and December are sneak peek months of what is to come. September being the one that's reflecting what's leaving and what is coming, especially towards the end of the month of September. And because tomorrow is going to set off the September energy and 9 frequency, we got to pay attention, but also maintain a higher vibration. Higher vibration. That's why the title is Be Mindful of the Murmurs of the Madness. Murmurs of Madness. Because they're going to throw it in the media. Like I've said before, M is the letter M is the number 4. Letter M is the number 4 in the Pythagorean system. That is the 22nd number. The Pythagorean system, that is the 22nd number, but it equates to the number 4. Let me see. It's a 4. No, that's the. I'm sorry. That's the 13th number. That's the 13th number, not the 22nd. V is the 22nd number. But all those 4, D, M, and V, D, M, and V are all connected to 4. D being the 4th number, M being the 13th number, and V being the 22nd number. And V being the 22nd number. So when the DMV, when people go to the DMV, that's interesting that the motor vehicle place is called the DMV, because sometimes that place can be mentally training. DMV, because it's all connected to the D, M, and V. That's what it starts off with. And now it's known as DMV. But in the Chaldean system, and I'm setting a premise here because the DMT in the Chaldean system is connected to the number 4. DMT. These are 2 different systems I'm using now. So DMT in the Chaldean system is a 4 energy. DMV in the Pythagorean system is a number 4 energy. So anytime you see DMT or DMV show up, look out for mental possibilities of mental health, especially in people's names, especially when it's the leading number or the leading letter of a name. It's reminding you when those DMVs and DMT show up. And what is it that we want to get when we take hallucinogens and when we want to go into those extra rides? We want that DMT to be activated. We want them DMT to come out. So it's not coinky-dink that in the Chaldean system, which is the oldest mystical system in numerology, one of the oldest mystical systems in numerology, that the 3 letters, the D, M, and T, is a number 4, which deals with the mind. We're broadcasting on Facebook, we're broadcasting on IG, we're broadcasting on Twitter, and we're broadcasting on 2 YouTube pages. Again, happy birthday to this man right here, The Power of Decision, the guy who wrote this book, Raymond Charles Barker, recommended by the late, great Reverend Ike. Happy birthday to Nairobi Sila, a great superstar artist. She's also a principal now in New Jersey, so big up to her. Very, she's a wordsmith. And one thing about people born under that number 31 or number 4 energy, if they study communications and words, they will become a wordsmith. They will become a wordsmith. They'll know how to articulate and sometimes have to say it over and over again to remind you of what they said. And then they will let you know again that they said it clearly. So, good book to have in your arsenal, of course, The Power of Decision. Very good book. Now, he says something very interesting in the book. He says, you are able to accomplish anything you really want to accomplish. The infinite is yours to explore, and the infinite is never dull, stale, or commonplace. Very good book to have in your arsenal because it will help the majority of you that are very overly indecisive and likes to second guess themselves. And I can fault myself for this back in my past, in my day, even to now. Sometimes you might second guess your thoughts and all, but I always stay on the premise, like he says in his book, to if it's positive and productive, then you must ride that wave of the positive and productive. If it's destructive, then you must leave that wave alone. So I'm talking about being mindful of the murmurs of madness, and I'm talking about what they're going to be throwing out there in the media for the next couple of months until election. A lot of stuff, the whole resurgence of a pandemic again, the whole this person, people being arrested and political figures being arrested, and all that is going to happen because people are now trying to scurry for the money. And because we're going into an 8 universal cycle, 8 is the number of money and power. 2024, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. But still look at the number 20, because 20 before the 24, as I state in my book, 20 is the symbol of divine awakening and clear judgment. 20 is a master number potential. So anytime 20 shows up before another number. So when you see 2023, 2024, 2021, 2025, 20, anytime those two numbers are constantly said over and over again, break it down and then narrow it down to the single digit. But you got to break down the double numbers. 20 is the symbol in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability. And I tell people, read my book outside of yourself sometimes. Take yourself away from the equation and then put it into somebody else's situation. Put it into the world situation. Put it into the cycle that you're in, or the cycle that your mother is in, or your father's in, or what the celebrity is going through. That's how you read my book. Although I talk about the 24th person, or the person born on the 31st, and it's natural for us to gravitate to our own numbers first, which is all right. So it's natural for us to gravitate to our own numbers. Yeah, you can grab, because I got from 1 to 31. I got the breakdown inside all my books. My numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and Numerovation for Mental Stability. So I do have the breakdown of all the numbers, but I want people to open their mind beyond their self, because at the end of the day, you are interdependently working with other energies around you. So when you read my book, read it different. When you read any book, any numerology book, to tell you the truth. But I specifically say it in my book because I know that I'm touching certain things when I start breaking down. So when I say 20 is the divine awakening, so anytime the year starts off with a 20, be willing to stay awakened. Be willing to be clear in what you do, clear judgment. Because the symbolism of the number 20, according to tarot, is called the judgment card. And not only are you judging other people, but you might be judging yourself at the same time. That's why in your scriptures it says, judge not, or yet ye be judged. And the same judgment that you pose to somebody else, it will come back to you. And in a 2020 or 20 number or 20 frequency, it also brings back the judgment to you also. That's how deep the number 20 is. So we're in 2023 going into 2024. And in numerology, the 24 is an assistance. It's called the symbol of assistance from those in high-ranking positions. And that's what I wrote in my book. According to some older studies of numbers, it is known as a promising number when it appears in connection to the future. And I'm talking about the future. That's why, although I said numerology is not anything psychic and not here to predict your future, the patterns, cycles, and sequences and algorithms of the numbers can help you determine the theme of the next year, or the 10 years, or the 100 years to come. The numbers can help you see the theme of the 3034. Or the year 3000, or the year 2000. Think about the book that was written by George Orwell called 1984. He wrote that book way before that. Google up when he wrote that book and then look at the theme of 1984, which adds up to a master number 22, which is a 4, which deals with technology and Big Brother. He looked at the algorithms and the mathematics and named his book 1984. And that's when the research, the stronger presentation of computer technology was coming to the fray. And that's what the big brother of everything being seen, cameras everywhere. That's what he was speaking about. So 1984 represented that. That's what, if you read the book, I have the book. He's talking about it. If you go watch the movies, he's talking about it. George Orwell's book. Go get it. If you're not too spooky, And I'm not trying to spook people out. I'm just showing you that everything in this universe is mathematically connected with a frequency and a resonant energy. And sometimes we have to tap in to our own personal. That's why the theme of this particular broadcast is be mindful of the murmurs of madness that can overload your mind and raise your mother flipping vibration. How do you raise your vibration? Although they're going to be murmuring everything, and then you're going to have family members coming. Did you hear what Trump said? Do you know the next? You might have to wear a mask, and you might have to do this, and this person is getting killed, and children are being stolen, and all that. They're saying all of this out there. And for the weak-minded mental health number attractive people out there, they might take it so deeply that they become depressed. And then they start depressing their family and depressing other people. They become depressed with what's going on because of the murmur of madness. Because it is madness. There's an old song that used to say, just an illusion. Illusion. It's just an illusion. So the frequency of this 8th year that we're going into, it's and let me finish reading about the 24, since we talked about 20 and 24. In my book, I talk about the 24 also being the number of intuition, loving, structured, balance, and harmony, and sensual magnetism. So in 2024, you should be awakened and have a divine awakening and clear judgment, but also understand what's your sensual and sexual magnetism, but also be willing to stay balanced and stay in balance and stay in harmony, but pay attention to your intuition. Be loving, be structured, but don't let the energy vampires take you, because you're able to see these energy vampires. The energy vampires are those, especially in media, and those people that take on what media says as God and then try to impose it or project it to you. Don't let these mother effers project it to you. Be mindful of the murmurs, the silent talk, the rumors, the gossip of other people, and the negative stuff that they're putting out in music and movies and media. Now, if you got a strong mind, and study it for a few, but then remember, it takes 16 positive to knock out 1 negative, according to a study at MIT years ago. It takes 16 positive to knock out 1 negative. So we got to constantly be mindful and bombard our mind with positive, productive energy as a unification model, but also individually for yourself, and become the captain of your own ship. You got to become the captain. Big up to Baba Dick, not Dick Gregory. Well, Dick Gregory is his teacher, but Baba Dr. Be Serious. Allow yourself to raise your vibration. Let me say that again. You got to allow yourself. You might say I am and this, but sometimes you can say I am and still go through mental health, still go through mental problems. That's why you have to be open to allow. So I understand what Dr. B Serious be saying on his program, or saying with Brother Rich all the time. You need to allow it. And because the word allow has the double L's, which is the 33 master number in it, it allows you to open up to the healing factor of the Christ anointed energy of 33, because that is where the 33 lies within the word allow. It's a powerful mathematical frequency. I am but allowing yourself will lead you to become the I am. So if I say I am a millionaire and I only got $10,000 in my account, that means I'm not a millionaire. I have the spirit to become one. But if you say I allow myself to become that, then you are setting yourself and setting the universe on an interdependent path to help you, allow you to become that millionaire till you could say, I am a millionaire. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. Please share this. Please share this. Please share this. Please share this. So, because we're going into 2024 and the sneak peek months from September, October, November, December, you're going to see the madness, but I want y'all to stay high. Y'all going to see the madness because we're going into an election year. Y'all going to see the madness, but I want y'all to stay high mentally, raise your vibration to the next level, start constantly bombard your mind with positive, productive things, music and all of that. Raise it because 8, like 7 in my book, is a mental health number. So they know what they're doing. They know the cycles, just like what happened in 2020 with the whole thing, the whole pandemic jumping to a high. That was a number 4 year. They know what they're doing. And then we went into a number 5 year, rattling people's nerve. 5 is a nerve number. Then 6, then 2020, then 2020, 2023, not 2023, 2020, 2020, then it was 2021, and then 2022. Which is a 6 that brought a little balance and semblance to our mind. But now they're in 2023, get mentally building you up because you're going into a mental cycle again. 2023 is a mental cycle of the 7, but it's also a number of what you attract is going to be very important to pay attention to. Because remember, 7 is the law of attraction number. And if you didn't attract the appropriate thing in your 7-year cycle, you might be going into some madness in your 8-year cycle. Oh, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. So when people do sessions with me, I have to look at the year 5, at least 5 years of where you're going. Because numbers have duality. Numbers have duality where you can take the high road or the low road. In my book, I say numbers have 4 paths. There's 4 paths. You got the constructive, you have the obstructive, you have the destructive, and you have the complacent path. And we know what complacent means. Comfort. You're comfortable where you at, which can lead to destructive. Or it can lead to just maintaining a neutrality. You want to be neutral in this whole thing. Cool. Hey, cool. You do what you do. You do what it do. You do what it do. You make it do what it do, babe. Make it do. I gotta sound like Ray Charles. Make it do what it do. Make it do what it do. But again, I'm not going to give too much. There's a lot going on, and you know, our people got short attention span. But on that note, family, I just wanted people to touch in because right now September's coming in tomorrow, and that deals, like I said, September from the beginning. I said September is one of the sneak peek months that's going to reflect where we're leaving, and so this is a pivotal month of transformation of the vibration because the vibration gradually comes in. That's why you started seeing all the arrests and all that. People taking pictures and snapshots and having, have to be arrested in Atlanta and come down to Atlanta. And then now they're going to be a retaliation against the people that did it. And then you're going to find out more stuff being revealed. And it's going to shake up people's mind and their mentality because you thought that person didn't do that nastiness or that craziness. A lot of stuff is going to come out between now going into 2023 because everybody's going for the bag. Everybody going to the bag. And I want you to go get the bag too, but I want you to go get the bag in the most positive and productive manner because the 2024 is a number 8 cycle, which 8, if you read my book, in my book, New Motivation for Mental Stability, the number 8 is a symbol of evolution, development, and balance. Evolutionary development and balance. The number 8 is numerous studies is also known as the flawless symbol of balance, cause and effect, or is recognized as karma. Karma only means cause and effect. So you gotta, right now I need y'all to project the good cause mentally so you can get the good effect coming back to you in 2024 because that's an 8 cycle. And then some may interpret the number 8 as an infinity symbol or 2 circles placed above each other, rotating in opposite direction. No matter how you look at the number 8, it is also known simply as an infinite symbol of building and destruction. In the 5%, they call it the build and destroy energy. Oh, yes, and in numerology, it's the build and destroy energy. So whatever you're willing to build, you have the propensity in an 8-year to either build or destroy. It's totally up to you. It's totally up to you. Of course, there's more. 8 is also the number of entrepreneur philanthropy. So in this next 8-year, try to be more giving. Now, don't give to people that ain't going to be reciprocal with the energy. Sometimes the reciprocal energy is just joy. You want to see somebody happy. That's all that might be. But it definitely, the number 8 rules currency and energy. So yes, you're going to start seeing the changes of currency and what they're about, what they want to do, especially in an 8-year cycle. And because it can be a build and destroy cycle, because people might not be mentally ready, they might go towards destruction instead of the building. Just showing you how this thing can work. Because in tarot, it is also known as the justice card. It's considered the law and order card. So you're going into 2024, which deals with the law and order card. But remember what I said about the 20 and the 24. That means there's no despair. 20 is still the number of the divine awakening and clear judgment. Some spiritual work, some great thing is supposed to happen, some great new purpose that's supposed to be built. But 24 is also that number of assistance from high-ranking positions in higher places, both physically and spiritually. So the ancestors, because 8 is an ancestral number, one of the ancestral numbers, the ancestors in your bloodline is watching over you if you're keeping your vibration high. Because you're putting out the higher vibrational cause so you can get the higher vibrational effect. That's what I'm talking about. That's why the theme of this particular broadcast on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitter is be mindful of the murmurs. A lot of M's in the murmur. A lot of mental numbers in murmur and madness and mindful. A lot of mental numbers in those words, but we can always push up the vibration to a higher level. Be mindful of the murmurs of madness and raise your vibration. Please do that. Please do that. And remember, I'll be passing down there at Tassili's Raw tonight. Today, I'll be around there between probably 2 and 3 o'clock. Between 2 and 4 o'clock, I'll be down there hanging out with Professor Griff. You know, me and Professor Griff, we go back. Tassili should be around there. There's 10% off on the supply because it's an appreciation day at Tassili today. And if you're in Brooklyn, New York, guess what? Boom. Is that 7? No, I'm sorry that I should have did that. If you're in Georgia from the 8th until the 10th, guess what? Come to the Mystic Fair, the Natural Mystic Fair. Meet your inner child. I'm one of the speakers. Brother Rich is one of the speakers. But also, we're going to be climbing the mountain of stone, the Stone Mountain, the Crystal Stone Mountain. We'll be climbing that mountain on September 9th, and then we're going to go back down to Tassili, and then on September 10th, I'll be speaking. I think, I don't know which day Brother Rich is speaking, but his birthday is coming up, so you look out for that. On September 17th in Brooklyn at Nicholas, Paint and Sip with my son and his beautiful Empress at 1396 Fulton Street. If you're in Brooklyn, make sure you give them a call, 718-858-4400. Also, I will be in Brooklyn with Baba Ashraf Kwesi and Mira Kwesi on the 23rd of September. Get your tickets. Matter of fact, tomorrow is the last day for early bird tickets. Then it's going up to 40, and then at the door is 50. So I suggest y'all get your tickets now today for Baba Ashraf Kwesi. Go to my Linktree /King Simon the Numeral Vader, and do support our sponsors like Dr. Shakira Moore, Linktree /Holistica Healer. And go to another sponsor, Lloyd Strayhorn, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Another sponsor of ours is More Money, More Travel with Tariq Moore. Make sure you hit him up at his website right there, myvortex365.com /more money. And if you want to advertise with your brother, please, by all means, email me at ksptvmedia@gmail.com. That's ksptvmedia@gmail.com. Also, if you're in Delaware, Drop Squad Kitchen is the place to be. Make sure you go to EPS Holistic Health and Wellness website to go get some great products. Nicholas Brooklyn, go get your products for 10% off in all retail purchases. And also, please support Baba Ashraf Kwesi as he takes people every year to the land of the ancients. 214-371-0206. Remember, Baba Ashraf Kwesi and Murmurs Kwesi's trips are historical based, not metaphysical and alien based. It's historical based. And remember, the aliens are our ancestors if you're going to go there. And if you want to get any of my books, please go to linktree/King Simon the New Motivator. If you want to take my classes, my course, or my 2-hour course on Udemy, it's an introductory. Please go to linktree/King Simon the New Motivator. Or you can also take my 8-hour course and my 8-hour course is deep. When I get into 8 hours of information, boy, y'all want, and you get to keep this and study it. You get 2 links and it's yours. As long as YouTube is up, those private links are yours. As long as YouTube is up, it's yours. All right. And you get to learn it for yourself. But I always tell people, whatever you learn, you better apply it. If you want to book a session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. Once again, 347-496-1022. Remember, the study of numbers or numerology is applied mathematics. Learn how to apply your numbers and they will guide you. And like I like to close out always saying, accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. In the years to come, these vibrations are real. These vibrations are real in the years to come. And like Dr. B. Sirius always says to me, and he says, I forgive myself. This is one of the mantras. I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, because none of us are perfect in this realm. Let me put up Dr. B's link tree. That's his link tree right there because of his saying linktree/Dr. B. Sirius. You know, he spells doctor differently. And the prayer of Dr. Blair. We're going to close out with the prayer. Please, universal creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. Thank you, Dr. Blair, for what he's offered us throughout the years and what we continue to strive to be. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in for these 40-something minutes. Again, it's much more to what I said. I just wanted to unpack it from a certain way on understanding what we're going into, what we're going to see, and why we need to raise our vibration through meditation, through prayers, through positive things, through positive reaction with the interaction with the universe, positive interaction with the people around you. When things go wrong, don't go with it. When things go wrong, don't go with it, like Les Brown was said. And like I said, this is a good book to have, The Power of Decision by Raymond Charles Barker. Power of Decision by Raymond Charles Barker. The Power of Decision by Raymond Charles Barker. The Power of Decision by Raymond Charles Barker. Or get anything by Reverend Ike. Or watch anything by Reverend Ike. Because Reverend Ike is meant for this time. Reverend Ike is meant for you to change the frequency about yourself, change the frequency about money, change the frequency about family, change the frequency about the earth. Because the earth is going to do what it do. And when you start to, it's just like your own body. When you start to put madness or do things to your body that the body don't want, it starts to expel it and throw it up and vomit and defecate and whatever it has to do to get it out of your system. It's going to go. And the earth does that sometimes because the earth is alive and well. Go ahead and touch the dirt and feel it. Go ahead and touch the leaves. The leaves and grass would not grow if the earth wasn't alive to help it grow with the other elements that's also being a part of this work. So we got to pay attention, family. And on that note, I want to thank everybody on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube for being a part of the journey of this God who is dubbed or working through me called King Simon. And I hope that you continue to rise your energy and let the God work through you, because we are gods having a human experience. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. On that note, the people on YouTube, I'm going to run these commercials real quick. You have just watched Be Mindful of the Murmurs of Madness. Raise your vibration. also broadcast on Instagram and other platforms. All right? Have a great day, afternoon, and evening.
Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
On Saturday, September 23rd from 2 to 8 p.m. at the Alkaline Oasis in Brooklyn, Baba Ashraf Kwesi and Murmurs returns to Brooklyn, New York after 4 years. Get your early bird tickets right now by texting 347-496-1022. Remember, they'll be teaching about the ancient history of Africa, Kemet, and also they're going to touch on Cleopatra. So get your tickets, 347-496-1022.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers? Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numeral Base. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now. It's the Numerovational Session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now.